Okay, so in this video, we're gonna go through this question here. We are given an equation. We want to express y in terms of x. So over here, we see that we have two different bases, y and x. You can change. Okay, first thing is you need to realize that we need to do change of base. So this and this. Okay, I'll just cut across. Okay, these two parts tell us that, or these two hints tell us that we need to do change of base. Okay, so let's just start with that. We will copy out the equation first. Okay, copy this out. Plus 64 equals to 0. Okay, let's do change of base. I don't think there's a big deal about like which one should we change to. So let's just change this one because this one has no square. I think it's a little bit easier. So let's copy out this whole thing, and I'm going to just change the base for the denominator. Okay, to change a base, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write a big fraction here, and I will realize that this x is a little bit lower, so the x goes below. The y is a little bit higher, so the y goes on top. I can now choose any base I want. I want base y. Okay. The next thing I realize is that actually this log base y will just be 1. Okay. Because whenever I have log base something and the argument is the same as the base, then I will get a 1. Okay, then I have a fraction in the denominator. The denominator of the denominator will jump all the way up here. So what I have is actually log base y x cubed, okay, plus 64 equals to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift the 64 over to the right hand side. So negative 64. I have a number cubed equals to negative 64. So if I take cube root, I'll get this. Okay, and just bear in mind that whenever you take square root, you need to put plus minus. But when you take cube root, you don't need to do anything. Okay. So we get this, and I want y in terms of x. So I want to take out the y from the base here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna exponentiate using a y. So y to the power of left and right hand side. So I'm gonna split into two columns. I'm gonna do it here. Okay, so when I put y to the power of log base y x, okay, the y and the log base y will cancel out. The x pops out. Okay, so I'll get x, and on the right hand side I have y to the power of negative 4. I want y, not x. So what I should do from here is to just do a power on both sides. I will raise both sides to the power of negative 1/4. Negative 1/4. And the reason why is just because when I have power of negative 4 times negative 1/4, that will be power of 1, which is y. Then the other side will be x to the power of 1/4. And that's my answer. Okay, you can write it in a different way. You can write it as 1 over x to the power of 4, but they are the same thing. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which one you write. Okay, the next part. We want to solve this equation here. Okay, this equation here, the good thing is that our bases are all the same. So nothing much to really do. All we have to do is just, okay, before that, let's copy out. Okay. What I'm going to do on both sides is to write both sides as one single term. What I'm going to do before I can do that is I'm going to insert a log 2, a log base 2, which is essentially a 1. Okay, so I'm just going to do that here. I will insert a log base 2, 2. Log base 2, 2, okay, is a 1. So I'm allowed to just insert this here. Now I need to bring the power, I need to bring this number in front up here as a power. Okay, so let's just recall this property is basically if I have log base, well, it doesn't really matter, let's say log base AB, okay, and I have multiplied by n. Okay, I can bring the n up to or into the logarithm and it will become the power for b. So just basically like this. I can bring the power up, I can bring the power down. In this case, I'm going to bring the power up. So I will get log base 2x plus log base 2 to the power of 3 equals to log base 2 x minus 1 squared. Now, on the left hand side, I have two terms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the other property, okay, that when I have log base whatever a plus log base whatever b, okay, I'm going to add them together. I will have the same base, and then the a and b will multiply together. Okay, so this will help me combine these two into one term. So I have log base 2 x times 2 cubed, which is 8x. So I'll write it as 8x. Okay, and the right hand side stays the same. Now I have log base 2 on both sides. I can exponentiate using a 2. Okay, so 2 to the power of left and right hand side. The 2 and the logarithm will cancel out. I will basically release this 8x and x minus 1 squared. Let's expand the x minus 1 squared. So I will get this. I'm going to bring everything to the same side. So I'm going to bring 8x to the right hand side, but I'm going to put a 0 on the, like just flip it around. Right, so I'll get x squared minus 10x plus 1 equals 0. In this case, I can't factorize. So I will use the quadratic equation. So x equals to minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so I'll get this. And if I shift things here, I actually get x equals to 10 plus minus square root of 96 over 2. And if I type this into the calculator, I will get two answers, two values. I will get this, okay, or I'm just going to put comma, or 0.10102 dot dot dot. Okay, the first one is actually okay. So I'm just going to tell you that this is 9.90 to 3SF. But the other value is to be rejected. And let's go through why we need to reject it. Let's scroll back up to the question. The question says I have log base 2 x minus 1. Okay, log base 2 x minus 1. So if x is if x is 0.1 something, then my log base 2 0.10102 dot 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 minus 1, okay, this is not allowed, okay, because this is undefined, okay, which means that I should reject this second solution, this second value, because the argument of my logarithm function must be positive. 0.1 something minus 1, that's negative. This whole logarithm term is undefined. So that's not allowed. And that's all for this question.